guys, welcome back to the channel. I want to start off today just by talking about something real quick. Something that I learned recently about success and how you can integrate it into your life, and hopefully this helps you the way it did for me. So let me break it down to you. I was listening to this podcast, right, with James Corden and a guy named Jay Shetty, and they were talking about success, what it means to them, like what is success, how are you successful. And everyone keeps asking James Corden. He had the late night talk show, and he was saying, you know, why did you leave? Why did you leave? The show was so successful. You were earning all this money. You were doing all this. He says he didn't feel fulfilled. Now, I could link the podcast too that you can go and listen to. But one of the things he talked about is what actually defines being successful. Just because people say like, oh, he's a celebrity or the show was good. And he goes in to talk about you can really make it whatever you want it to be. So while he was talking, I ended up writing down some notes. And for me, one thing that's big currently is obviously the YouTube. So I asked myself, and I kind of got caught a little bit into the rut of going for likes, subscribers, how many views they get, and defining an episode that I've been giving to you guys, it being successful or not based on the numbers and views. So where I'm going with this, I ended up writing down, after listening to this podcast, some ways that I see this is successful. To me, I wrote down 3 points. 1, I have fun. 2, I enjoy the process of making it and I make it how I want to make it. And number 3, I release it. And those are 3 ways to me that I see. It doesn't have anything to do with likes, subscribers, any of that stuff, views. It's those 3 points. I had fun, I made it how I want to make it, and I released it. That makes my video successful. So guys, hopefully you can take that into your life, whatever you're doing, whether it's work or any sort of hobby like this, and you think like, oh, I gotta be a big time celebrity to be successful, I gotta have all this money to be successful, whatever it is. Get those kind of notions out of your head, because you can define success in any way possible, just like I did there. And it was something new that I learned that I thought I could pass on to you. With that being said, today's video is about NHL rookie camp. So just before NHL main camp opens up, they have this little camp called NHL rookie camp. So I'm gonna tell you scheduling similar to the Nashville video with some pop-ups of what we do, what it actually is, what it means, some insider stuff behind the scenes of what goes on, you know, as far as like, do you get paid, all these kind of things, what it actually means, the camp. And yeah, guys, thanks as always for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's get on into it. All right, guys, so first we're gonna kind of talk about how everything works throughout the camp. So your flights in, your equipment, you know, whether you drove in, all those sort of things, testing, physicals. So to the screen right now, I'm gonna pop up, first of all, this letter. So this letter says, Dear Brandon, I hope this finds you well in the midst of summer, yada, yada, yada. This is a formal invite basically to the 2016 rookie camp with Arizona Coyotes. So it kind of says like, yeah, enjoy the remainder of your off season, blah, blah, blah. We look forward, these are the dates to rookie camp. Then it talks about like when you arrive. So it says a shuttle driver will meet you in the baggage claim area upon arrival. Phoenix Sky Harbor. The driver will have your cell phone number. If there's any problems, give these guys a call, blah, blah, blah. And then it'll say the driver will be taking you to the arena first to drop off your bags, and then to the hotel. The hotel is located across the street from the Gila River Arena, which was the arena out there we were playing at. And then it gives the area you're staying and the hotel. Reservations, room assignments have already been made. It just required to pay incidentals. If you come to Arizona beforehand, before the date, you're required and require hotel accommodations, please contact such and such. So that's something I can explain real quick. A lot of times what guys do, not so much for, I guess, rookie camp, but in the NHL, they come in weeks prior. Most of the time, if the guys have been there a long tenure time, you know, Taves, Kane, Ovechkin, or whatever, like, they're going to have houses in the area. They're going to have places, apartments. For guys who are coming in who are sort of on the bubble, they don't know if they're there, they're not. They kind of come in a few weeks before or a week beforehand. You know, they might have to get a hotel, so the team will sort out the hotel, but you're responsible for paying for it. Sometimes younger guys do that, but most of the time I'd say 95% of rookie camp guys don't really do that. They kind of come in on whatever day you're supposed to report. So it'll go on to say that there is a meeting September 16th, 6 p.m. So they go over in the meeting what camp's gonna be like. You get a schedule of camp, like in a notebook and stuff. What team you're on. They usually split you up into different teams. Team white, team red, for example, is such and such. And then the next morning would be physicals. So the next morning you have to, you don't eat in the morning. I don't even know if I think you're allowed water, but they got to take your blood work. They do all the physicals. They go through everyone. And this is just a reminder too, that these are like who's invited to rookie camp, let's say. So rookies, as far as you haven't played in the NHL yet, you've just been recently drafted by the team, you recently signed out of college to the team. Now, college guys, me and my brother sort of explained this a few weeks back in our college versus OHL episode. If you haven't seen that, I'll pop it up. But if you're a college guy, you can't go to the camp. Now, this is like a camp where basically it's right before training camp, and you're gonna play a few exhibition games. It's like a regular training camp basically, but it's shorter. It'll only be like pop up on the schedule right now about 5 days or so, 5 to 6 days long. You do 3-4 days of practice and then finish it usually with a couple games. Now some teams will go up, like Detroit, they do the Traverse City tournament. They go up to Traverse. I don't know if they still do that or not, but I know different teams have different tournaments all over the place, so they kind of will do a few days practice, go, and they play in these tournaments. All right, so this will kind of go over the schedule a little bit. So obviously September 16th would be the day that you would fly in. So they pay for your flight, you fly in. Any receipt along the way, as far as, you know, you buy lunch at the airport or something to eat or whatever, you buy a water at the airport, all that stuff they pay for. Luggage that you're bringing out. Personally, I always used to pack like I was making the team. You never knew, and my attitude was always going that, you know, Okay, so before I almost got attacked by a dog there, yeah, my attitude was always like, you know, I'm coming to play. I'm coming to play for the Coyotes. So, you know, you pack up a big suitcase, obviously head on out. But to go over this schedule here, so shows, obviously you got Friday the 16th all the way until Wednesday the 21st. Now that actually seems pretty short, like, you know, it basically is short, but when you're in it, honestly, it feels like you're there for 3 weeks and it's 5 days, because you're getting exposed to a lot of new information. You're trying to take everything in, you're trying to play the best you can and perform the best you can. So feels like everything is based around that performance. One of the big things that we'll go over this more so in next week's episode of NHL training camp is the testing, like how much it really means. Do they really pay attention to it or not? As far as I go, I mean, I'm talking on the player side, so I don't know too much from their perspective of what they're actually looking for, but I'm just going off of what I heard, what they told me, which is yes and no. Like for the rookies, we're talking yes and no. Like for my first year there, I didn't really do well in a lot of the tests and stuff because, you know, you're such a young guy. I'm growing, you know, you're getting that strength and stuff. And I think what they sort of look for over like the years. So I went to 3 rookie camps. So when I was 18, 19, and 20. And I think they just want to see progression. They get your numbers the first year, you know, they want to see progression each year. They want to see you improve. And this sort of leads me into what do they want from the play? Like, what do you get if you're the organization out of NHL rookie camp? I think what they're looking for a lot of times in guys, again, yeah, is that self-betterment. Like, this guy went away during the summer, he's improved, he's worked on his game. Does it really help you going into main camp? Yes and no. If you're a top-rated guy, you're going to the main camp anyway. For someone like myself, I was drafted in the first round. You knew you were going to the NHL training camp to be a part of it and to learn. Now, for a guy who might be a free agent sign-in or something like that, who, you know, might be lower down the totem pole per se of where the prospect rating or whatever, having a really good camp might help him a lot. Maybe he wasn't scheduled to go to NHL main training camp and it earns him an invite to that. A lot of cases, is it like, oh my God, he made the team from rookie camp? No, like that doesn't rarely happen. And oftentimes I've seen a lot of guys who have a great rookie camp and then struggle in main camp because they sort of gas out. They're not used to competing against pros. You know, it's a different step. It really is, from going from rookie camp to main camp. Once the pros come in, you're playing against men. Let's not forget that the rookies, you know, you're in that ballpark of 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then when main camp, like Shane Doan was 40 my first year, right? So, and I was 20. He had 20 years difference on me. So it's a really different scenario when you get to main camp. I think overall, guys, yeah, what NHL rookie camp is sort of there for is to introduce kids and like players in the game to a taste of what being in the NHL is like. And it gives a taste into this is what we do at training camp each year, because it's basically like a mini training camp before the regular NHL training camp, if that makes sense. And yeah, it's more just an introduction into wearing the sweater. You go out, you play, you know, we played a couple games against LA every year, exhibition games in the big rinks and stuff, and it's more so just getting that familiarity with they're seeing a lot of you know, they want to see you play and how you compete too and interact with different guys. And that's really it. Like, it's nothing where it's like, oh my God, this is the end all be all. I used to really enjoy going to those and being around the guys, and you could certainly feel like it. I liked it because it got you comfortable before going into training camp. But you can also, like I said, like sometimes as a rookie, you almost gas out a little bit before you hit training camp, because you do that and then you compete. I always seen guys play in the exhibition games. In the rookie exhibition games, there was one guy each year who always had a bad injury because the games were like crazy. They weren't very flowy. It's the first games back from the summer. Everyone wants to kill everyone out there to make an impression. So guys are headhunting, guys are doing like crazy wild stuff. And yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate because guys would always sort of get hurt. Now there would be a couple standout guys. Like for me, I actually got hurt in one of those games. I broke my hand right on the side against LA. But you know what, guys, long story short, I will say that it's a really good experience going out there. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an inside look into what NHL rookie camp is like. There'll be more information next week when we talk about NHL training camp, but it's like a mini camp, like I said, mini camp before the NHL training camp. So, you know, hopefully that gives a little more look for you guys. And yeah, guys, that's all I really got for you this week. Thanks as always for watching, liking, and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Have yourself a great day out there, guys. Remember, life's a gift, man. Each day comes, it's a new day, and tomorrow ain't promised, baby. So with that being due, Go out there and have yourself a good day. See you next time. Peace.